You guys, for any of you that have turned into regulars here on the channel, you probably know that I just made a video regarding the New York Knicks a little over a week, if not 2 weeks ago. But if you guys have been watching your fair share of basketball like myself, you know that this New York Knicks team is the hottest team in basketball right now, and it is very hard for an NBA fan like myself to not watch them or talk about them, as the turnaround they have made this year is truly remarkable. And then when a typical fan looks at this New York Knicks team, what they are doing, and asks how they made this insane turnaround, I'm sure you New York Knicks fans will give at least a handful of answers as to why this team is as successful as they are. However, after doing this research myself and looking into what this Knicks team has been doing over the course of the last couple of weeks, there is one key answer to why they have been seeing so much of this success that honestly does not get talked about nearly as much as it should. And this is what we're going to be getting into in today's video. Real quick, you guys know as well as I do that I am more than excited to get into another one of our videos here on the channel. But before I do, I'm going to save any of you new guys the time and effort right now and give you 5 seconds to go down below and subscribe. Believe me, you guys, if you are a fan of the NBA and this is your first time checking out this channel, you have come to the right place, as we are coming out with brand new NBA content on a daily basis around here, covering pretty much any topic you can possibly think of. So for any of you guys that do this for me, thank you so much. I appreciate you more than anything in the world, but let's get into this video. Now again, for any of you guys who are keeping up with the content around here on the channel, you know that I made a video concerning the rising star of the New York Knicks in RJ Barrett a little bit ago. And don't get me wrong, with me making this video, I am not trying to downplay the role RJ Barrett has had in the Knicks' success by any means whatsoever. And then, of course, alongside RJ Barrett, you have the rise in a potential superstar in Julius Randle this season, which is what I am assuming most of you thought this video was going to pertain to. But you guys, this is not the case, as this video is centered on and focused around the one, the only Derrick Rose. Yes, you guys, believe me, if you are watching this video and you have not watched your fair share of New York Knicks basketball so far this season, the impact that Derrick Rose has left on this team from an overall standpoint since being traded to the New York Knicks on February 7th of this season is truly unprecedented, and I am not over-exaggerating when I say this. As just to use this stat for an initial example, before the New York Knicks traded for Derrick Rose this season, they started off the year with an 11-14 record. Since trading for Derrick Rose and plugging him in as a major spark plug off the bench for this up-and-coming roster, this team has continued on to post a record with Derrick Rose on this roster of 26-14. I should mention that this is their record overall, with Derrick Rose simply being on the roster. However, in games that he has played in this season, the New York Knicks are a staggering 21-8, which I don't care how you look at it, you guys, that is a monumental shift from what this team was doing at the beginning of the year to now, with this man having an impact. Also, as we mentioned previously, for the most part with the New York Knicks, Derrick Rose has been acting as a major piece coming off the bench. However, even being put in this specific role for the Knicks, he is definitely putting up starter caliber numbers. At least those, when you look at them, you would think that he is a starter on this team, that is for sure. As so far this season, through 44 games, he has been posting averages of about 14 points, 2.5 rebounds, and around 4 assists per game, while also posting some of his best shooting splits of his entire career within his play with the Knicks this year, as his shooting splits with the Knicks have consisted of 48% shooting from the field overall, a staggering improvement of 40% from 3 and 86% from the free throw line, which when we are comparing his 40% shooting from 3 overall for the New York Knicks compared to his next highest average in his entire career, which was actually when he shot 30% from 3 with the Minnesota Timberwolves about 2 years ago. Again, you guys, this is a monumental difference of improvement that I feel is not getting enough light as it should. On top of the consistent averages that Derrick Rose has been putting up for this Knicks team over the course of the last couple of months, it should also be noticed that this man has been absolutely balling out for the Knicks over the course of the last 2 weeks on their hot streak. As we look into the averages of Derrick Rose over the course of the Knicks' last 8 games, he has been putting up very impressive averages of around 19.5 points and 5 assists per game, while also shooting a ridiculous 59.5% from the field overall through this span and 50% from 3. Also, not to mention that over the course of this 8-game span, Derrick Rose has posted a plus-minus of plus 105, which is undoubtedly the highest on the entire team by a landslide throughout this span. And again, everyone can agree that these numbers are impressive, but a lot of people would also make the argument that they're not as impressive if the man's team is not winning games. But this is without a doubt not the case for the New York Knicks and Derrick Rose, as they have won 12 of their last 13 games. Telling you guys right now, with some of the stats I just read off to you about Derrick Rose's recent performance with the Knicks this season, and on top of that, just watching this New York Knicks team play throughout the course of the entire year, it is a treat to watch what this man is doing on the basketball court in terms of leading a successful team into the playoffs. As if you were not aware, they just clinched their first winning season for the first time in a very long time. I will just leave it at that. However, it does seem that throughout the course of this entire season, most of the spotlight for this Knicks team has been put on their top superstar in Julius Randle, and don't get me wrong, he deserves all of the credit he is getting more than anything in the entire world. Sometimes I feel like we really do have to shine a light on the players that don't get as much recognition as maybe the star players do and are having just as much of an impact out there on the basketball court. As yes, we are aware that the numbers that Derrick Rose is putting up are not necessarily insane or all-star caliber numbers by any means whatsoever, but I'm telling you guys, if you haven't done so already, just take a little time out of your day to watch some New York Knicks highlights or a New York Knicks game coming up, and just try to go out of your way and focus on Derrick Rose and realize the kind of impact he is having for this team and why they are seeing the success that they are. Because once again, the numbers are not necessarily crazy, but this man has had one of the more extraordinary careers we have seen out of any NBA player over the course of the last couple of decades, and ultimately, we really do need to appreciate what we have until it's gone. But you guys, after going through the massive upgrade of a season Derrick Rose is having so far with the Knicks this year, I'm thinking that's going to mark the end of the video for today. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the New York Knicks going into the 2021 playoffs here in a couple weeks. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say about this team. Are they a regular season team, one and done in the playoffs? Are they going to make a run maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals? I want you to let me know what you have to say, because ultimately, I don't even know what to say about this team. All I know is I love watching them play, and I would not be mad if we saw them make a run in the playoffs. But once again, you guys, if you did enjoy the video at all, please make sure to go down below, drop a like on it, and subscribe as well. I've said it before, and I will say it again, you guys, brand new NBA content on a daily basis around here. You do not want to miss out on what we have on the channel coming forward. But on that note, you guys, once again, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate all of you guys more than anything in the world. You all know this. But without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video.